The goalkeeper who forgot how to goalkeep. Once upon a time, in a small town that was obsessed with soccer, there lived a teenager named Max. Max was the goalkeeper for his school's soccer team, the Footers. Now, Max wasn't your typical goalie, he was a legend. Or at least, that's what he told himself in front of the mirror every morning. The problem was, Max had an issue. A big one. He had an incredible ability to forget what his job was at the worst possible moments. Sometimes, in the middle of a game, he'd forget he was supposed to stop the ball, not dance around pretending he was at a music festival. Other times, he would try to head the ball instead of catching it with his hands, and it would bounce off his head like he was an unlucky watermelon at a carnival. One chilly Saturday morning, the Footers were facing their arch-rivals, the Dribblers. The stands were packed, the fans were chanting, and Max was trying to remember where he left his shin guards. "Max! We need you focused," shouted Coach Jenkins, who had aged 10 years just from watching Max's goalkeeping. "Don't worry, Coach." Max grinned, tying one shin guard to his elbow for reasons no one understood. "I've got this under control." The whistle blew, and the game was on. Right away, Dribbleton's star player, Ricky, the Rocket, Rodriguez, charged down the field, zigzagging like a caffeinated squirrel. Max stood tall, ready to defend his goal. Until he got distracted by a butterfly floating above the field. "Is that a monarch butterfly?" Max mused aloud, forgetting that a ball was rapidly flying toward him. Wham! The ball soared into the back of the net while Max clapped politely at the butterfly's gracefulness. "Max!" screamed his teammates in unison, but Max simply shrugged. "It's all part of my strategy," he said. What kind of strategy, no one knew, but it certainly wasn't soccer-related. The game continued. Max's forgetfulness escalated. During one corner kick, he forgot he was a goalie altogether and ran down the field, shouting, "I'm going to score!" while leaving the goal wide open. The opposing team couldn't believe their luck. Ricky, the Rocket, casually walked the ball into the empty net while the audience debated whether Max was a secret agent from Dribbleton, sent to sabotage the game. By halftime, Fumbledon was losing 5-0. The team gathered around Max, panting and furious. "Max, we love you, man, but can you please just do one thing? Just stay in front of the goal," begged his best friend and captain, Jamie. Max nodded solemnly. "I got it. I swear." The second half started, and Max seemed more focused than ever. He planted his feet in front of the goal, staring down Ricky, the Rocket, who had the ball once again. Ricky lined up his shot, but this time, Max was ready. He jumped into the air, arms outstretched. Time slowed down. The crowd held their breath. This was Max's moment. Except, Max forgot which direction to jump. Instead of diving toward the ball, he leapt dramatically in the opposite direction, flailing like a seagull that had just realized it forgot how to fly. Thud! The ball rolled gently into the net. Dribbleton scored again, and the crowd went wild, not because of the goal, but because Max had somehow landed headfirst into a mud puddle that no one had noticed before. Coach Jenkins had given up at this point. He sat on the bench, eating popcorn. It's like watching a car crash in slow motion, he muttered to the assistant coach, who nodded in agreement. Just when everyone thought all hope was lost, something incredible happened. With just 2 minutes left on the clock, Fumbledon's star striker, Jamie, managed to dribble the ball past 3 defenders and launch it toward the dribble-ton goal. The crowd rose to their feet as the ball rocketed through the air. But then Ricky, the Rocket, made an insane leap and knocked the ball away with his head. The ball soared high into the sky, straight toward Max. Max, still covered in mud, blinked. For a split second, he remembered what he was supposed to do. Catch it, his team screamed. Max's hands shot out like they were controlled by some ancient soccer spirit. He caught the ball. Not only that, but he kicked it back into play with such force that it zoomed down the field. Every player watched in shock as the ball rolled right past Dribbleton's bewildered goalkeeper and into the goal. The Fumbledon footers had won, 6-5, thanks to Max's accidental, impossible, legendary last-minute assist. The crowd went wild. Max stood there, blinking in disbelief. "See," he said with a grin. "All part of the strategy." From that day on, Max became known as the luckiest goalkeeper in soccer history. He still didn't always remember what he was supposed to do, but he sure made things interesting. After all, who needs to play by the rules when you can just confuse everyone into victory? And so, Max's legacy lived on, forever the goalkeeper who forgot how to goalkeep. But still somehow won the game. The end.